Dude, I just talked for like 18 minutes, dude, with no audio. That's funny. I'm gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I mean,
What's up?
it's good. We all when we all here, we can kind of bounce it off each other and test each other.
Yeah.
But
Sorry about that, guys. 18
iron
minutes of
sharpens
talking with no
iron.
audio. Yeah, this will be edited, though. I'll change it. I'll edit it out uh, when we get done.
Hey, it happens though. It happens.
Yeah. Subscribe and follow on all outlets Twitter, CTMTVLR, TikTok, CTMTVLR, YouTube, CTMTV, Instagram, CTMTVLR. Follow, like, share, subscribe. Thinking Game Podcast 127. Here we go. Think before the reaction. Bro, how was your week this week before we get into the slide?
Hustle and bustle. It was pretty good. It's cooling off. You know what I mean. I don't really like the
Oh,
hot
yeah.
weather. It makes me feel uncomfortable. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
the cool air is kind of refreshing to me. You know,
Okay.
I'm getting ready to
Yeah.
quit cutting the grass for the season. I hate that.
Boy, I got to do that this week, too. Yeah, hopefully it's my last cut for it. I hope I won't turn brown. I want it to anyway. Tired of cutting it, man. Stuff get
Boy,
old, man. Quick. Did you go to the food truck festival?
no, I wanted to, but my son really wasn't interested, and you know what I mean. So I had him with
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean. I didn't want to waste
I
money,
know,
have
right?
him out there in the heat complaining.
Boy.
But I heard nothing but good things about it. So
Yeah. So, man, didn't nobody hear me talking about this, but before we get into it, man, what you think about the dude in Missouri, man? Um, do you think, I was saying, because I didn't, that my audio was cut out, but I was saying that from a perspective, I don't know his whole situation, but legal system and not having the financial means is tough to navigate. Um,
yeah, innocent or
the fact,
not,
yeah,
you can be innocent. You don't present the information right. The lawyers don't care. The
man,
best way to beat the legal system is just not to get in it.
man, for right, I
Because
said that too. Just don't get in.
you can be innocent and you
Boy,
can still be put to death
yeah,
for
without
whatever
question.
reason. Politics, you know what I mean? A man lost his life. Rest in peace to him. Condolences go out
Yeah.
to his family because everybody has a family. Um,
The crazy part, even if they would have took away the death penalty, he still would have had to serve life. That's crazy.
yeah,
If that would have worked, what he did with the DNA, it would have said he was innocent. Even the family agreed to it. They say, well, he might not get death penalty, but we think he should still serve life. So I don't know the whole case surrounding it. It seemed like it was real political driven too, because I think it was. They say it was like a newscaster or something that got stabbed to death. I don't know. It was crazy, um, boy. But yeah, man. That's why I told find something to do when you graduate. Don't just sit around. Find something to do. Idle time is dangerous, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And then you gotta watch words. They say you'll get
Yeah,
your day in court. It may just be one day, and after that day,
boy,
they might find new evidence. But that don't matter because your day has passed.
boy. That's true. All right, going into this first slide. Hot topic. It says defendants in court claim that Big Jook put 100K on Dolph head. Do you think they just snitching on dude because he not living no more, or do you think there's is some truth to it?
Um, it's no purpose to snitch on him when he's not living because you can't make a plea deal without a defendant. You know what I
Sometimes you
mean?
can. There's some people that made plea deals against somebody that was you were in a situation with Ti where he said he snitched on. They said if you said the gun was your cousin's, even though his cousin had died, if you said the gun was your cousin, it'll take you off the charges.
Yeah, in
And he
that
did
case,
it and exonerated him.
but he didn't necessarily give more years. There's nobody. Hey, that was his gun. There's
Yeah.
nobody to say, hey, that wasn't my gun. So
Right,
that was
right,
the
right.
best
That's true.
play for him legally and
Yeah.
all kind of things. But when you're got a murder rap and you want, unless they want to know where their body is or
Yeah.
where the money is, they don't have any leverage to help you. So
Mm.
they don't want to help you. They don't get anything out of him confessing and saying that another person paid him to do it. It gives them a more complete picture. But And then it's like when you are low budget hitman or just cashing in on a bounty,
I
you
don't think they ever
gotta
got it.
make
That's what's crazy.
sure you know what I mean, this person is credible, and you got to do what it takes when they don't pay you your money.
Yeah,
And it's just it's a sad thing. Killing begets more killing. You kill the person, you gonna get paid. Then you kill the person that's supposed to pay you. Then you just keep killing people. Um, it's hard to be a broke hitman.
yeah. I think one of the angles I want to talk about is when you're calling people out. I don't know if they both were streets. I know Yo Gotti. I think he was actually in the streets, stuff like that. But he kept calling his name out. He kept going at him. You know what I'm saying? For clout or whatever. And I think kids got to understand this, man. Sometimes, man, some dudes you just can't. You guys got to leave them alone. It ain't worth the cost. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't worth it. Calling people name out, keep going at them. You know what I'm saying? Talking crazy on the wax. Sometimes people take this serious, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Who knows what
Especially in
really
a place
happened?
like
Memphis is
Memphis,
crazy. Boy.
and you in the area, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing that. There's not like East Coast West Coast stuff where I live in New York, you live in California, and we talking
Yeah.
crazy to each other. We're in the same city. um, I like rivalries and stuff like that. Like, McClellan don't like Mills, Central don't like
Yeah.
Hall, and things like that. But if you see those guys now, everybody's in their 20s, 40s, sometimes in their 50s.
Yeah.
I didn't like you in high school, but you know what I mean. We'll crack jokes on each other, but we're not trying to kill each other. These
Right.
are men, black men, millionaires, successful, have their life ahead
Yep.
of them, and then for some money, for you know what, for the promise of some money,
Boy.
you're going to get life in prison. Maybe not the death penalty, be, because of the promise. Somebody promised you something that they didn't
Boy.
show you, and now you got a murder on your hands. You're
Man.
going to jail and no money. Um,
Man. 100K
Kids
is a
learn a
lot of money.
lesson.
That's almost let me tell y'all something. 100K on your head is like, you remember if you watch John Wick, was it John Wick 2 when they put the bounty on him, the
Yeah.
$1 million bounty on him? Everybody going at him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was trying to take him out. That's like the equivalent. Like you got to be careful out here in these streets, man. Like
And I think
sometimes,
this is a good point to make too. You hear a lot of rappers or a lot of kind of maybe fake gangsters um,
yeah,
say,
studio
"Hey,
gangsters.
I got a bounty on somebody's head. I'll put 100 racks on his
Man,
head. I'll put 50. I'll put
yeah,
500 on his head." Are they really paying these things? Are these bounties really getting paid off? Or you gonna kill somebody and then not get your money? You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Or do you
where
take
my
a
money at?
deposit? Yeah,
It
do you
ain't
take a
no cut.
deposit?
It ain't no customer service or return policy on the hit. You know what I mean, like that. So
Mm-mm.
you gotta make sure it's a credible source. And on the fictional movie, John Wick, the people that put out the bounty, they're known for paying out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you definitely know your money is there when you complete the job. With these
I
people,
guess
they
what I'm
just
saying is,
said it because it
if he put
sounds
it out
good.
in the streets, I guess what I'm saying is, if he put it out in the streets for anybody, sometimes some people do that. They'll put it
Yeah,
out in the streets that anybody, it's like a known thing in the streets. Like the
yeah,
regular
but see,
general
no, but
public
see,
don't know nothing about it.
and
Yeah.
that's the falsehood on that. It's in the
Yes.
street.
100%.
I
Yes,
said,
in the street.
Big John
Boy,
said, I'm gonna give
it's a
you
lot of
this
stuff
or
in the
that.
streets. Yeah.
But is that can you really pay that? Are you gonna pay that? Have you paid that before? So
Yeah, 100K is a
in
lot of money to have at one time in cash. That's a lot of that's a lot of
So I
money.
mean, I seen Yo
100K.
Gotti
That's
with a lot of money, like
yeah,
actually, physically
yeah,
on his person. But you got to realize that if you don't have enough respect in the streets to go get your money, like you kill dude, but you can't really
you
stand up
can't
for
cash
yourself
in.
enough
You can't cash in
uh,
on it. Yeah,
to cash in on it. You got to look at who
Yeah.
putting this out. You know what I mean? You doing
And
somebody
dudes
else
will say
dirty work
anything to get off
potentially for
too.
free. Exactly.
Yeah, dudes will say anything to get off too. They'll try to say anything they can to get off, and they not getting off. They're done. They're not getting off. It's not gonna
I
happen.
I have never seen like I heard of telling on people, but on telling on yourself, who is that? Oh yeah, that's me right there. That's me right there with the Draco. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
man, that's Bozo. I don't know who they. That's Bozo the Clan. They had on mask too.
Man,
Didn't have on mask, right?
my
Didn't they have
mama
on
couldn't
mask?
identify me. Your mama said that's you.
Boy,
No, that's not me.
that
That's the
ain't
one
me.
horn man. But
Well,
when
you
you know
know
they
it's
really
hard for us because you 6'2", I'm 6'5". You know that's it's hard for us to do. But if you average height though, yeah, you probably like nah.
uh, and then you're like you're facing those bars, and the way he described the events taking this
Yeah,
man's life, he it was like he was describing a basketball game. Matter of fact, I think he would
yeah.
have been more
Play
excited
by
or
play.
animated
He
or
doing a play by
emotional.
play. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
I was at the house, man. I made me a little ham sandwich, man. You know what I'm saying? Put some Miracle Whip on it, cause you know a sandwich ain't a sandwich without Miracle Whip. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? We hopped in the car, you know what I'm saying, load the Dracos up. Had to make sure I had the right ones, you know what I'm saying, in there, you know what I'm saying?
And he was very detailed on in what he was doing
Yeah.
about even retelling the story. And you got to think about how long ago that actually happened.
Boy.
My condolences to the family who are having to
Rest in
go
peace to
through
both of
this.
them, because both of them are deceased. Big
Yeah,
Jook got killed at a funeral. Yeah, he got killed at a funeral, you know what I'm saying?
and you got to think about stuff like that. It's one day, um, and it changed everybody's lives like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
his children um, and things like that is just so
And it just
sad.
makes
And
you
then,
ask, was it worth it to do the beef on wax? Was it worth it?
and
You
I
know what I'm
I
saying?
want to say one more thing about that, but I think a lot of people don't like stuff going on social media or in the public to see this, but I think it teaches a more valuable lesson when the
Yes.
public can see, children
Yes.
can see, the
Yes.
little the youth, you know what I mean, 17,
Yes.
18, 19, 20s, young adults can see, hey,
Yes.
the same dude running with the Draco will be on the stand testifying
Yeah.
against himself and others.
Yes.
The same dude that you thought was an OG, that was a shooter,
Yeah.
will be testifying. Um, this is what it looks how it looks when a man you take a man from his family. This
Right.
is how painful it looks. This is how the family has to relive things like this. Your family, the victim's family, and the perpetrator's family. I
Yep.
think it's sad that we have to see and the family has to go through this publicly, but
Yeah.
the lesson it can teach all of these people. These are real people. This is
Yeah.
a man who
100%.
had a future. He had a
Yeah.
family, trying to do make a positive impact in his city. You know what I mean? So I think this
The
is
question
really a
is,
teachable moment.
do you think he had the choice to stop Dolph just saying his name at all, or you think he had to keep going?
I think you stand up for yourself on the most part. You know what I mean, and you know what I mean. It's art. Uh, I think Kendrick Lamar could have stopped at one song, maybe two. You know what I
Man,
mean?
that's
Maybe,
two totally different situations, man.
but exactly. So you think it's just beef? We're just talking, but they're in the same city. Memphis is different.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yo
gotta kind
Gotti
of,
is different. Yo Gotti is different.
and you gotta stop and figure like, hey man, not even maybe the kings won't take it too serious, but it's a lot of soldiers trying to
Right.
um make their rep, you know what I mean, be made whole on this.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
gotta watch this stuff. Um,
Yeah. Man.
you
Watch
know what I
out in
mean?
those streets, man.
A 5-year-old with a 45 can take your life.
Yeah. One
Just
shot.
like a
Yeah.
veteran soldier can take your life with an M16. A 5-year-old
Oh
with a
yeah.
45 can do the same damage
On accident can take your
on
life.
accident.
On
Yeah.
accident. Yeah. Go to the next slide, man. So pick one. Jim Carrey or Robin Williams?
Oh man, that's crazy. Oh man, that's crazy.
Mork and Mindy. Jim Carrey. Let me tell you something.
you know, it seems just so these are two one of a kind
Yes,
people.
but similar at the same time. One of a kind,
Similar,
but similar at the same time.
yeah,
It's just Jim
similar.
Carrey was really good at impressions. Robin Williams just made different characters though. Yeah,
Yeah, Robin Williams. Yeah, that's the thing. Robin Williams
yeah,
can really create a character. Any
yeah,
character he played, nobody else probably can
yeah,
play it behind him.
yeah,
Stand up was good. The movie, all
yeah.
the
It was.
movies, Mork and Mindy, the shows.
Yeah,
Big part of my childhood. But in Living
was
Color, Jim
was
Carrey,
he
The
the first?
Mask, Ace Ventura, all of that stuff was like
So was
groundbreaking.
Miss Doubtfire the first? Was that the first
The
of
first
that
what?
kind? The first of that
No,
kind?
no. What's the name?
Who?
Dustin Hoffman. Robert De Niro did Tootie or
Huh?
Trudy. He did a movie
Really?
where he
He was one of them. He
yeah
was Dancing with the Stars. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh
But
wow. I
I
thought Miss
mean,
Doubtfire
and
was maybe
I think
the
that
biggest.
gives because Robin Williams did it. I had a lot of respect on Martin's take of Big Mama's House is basically Miss Doubtfire for Black people. You know what I mean?
You
And
think so? Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't watch too much of that. It was just too much for me. Yeah, it was a little too much.
you know what I mean. I mean the clumps
Yeah,
was real good too. But now I'm gonna go
yeah,
with Robin on the classic. Rest in peace.
to,
Um,
yeah.
you
Robin
know what I
Williams.
mean.
Yeah,
That's one and two. You know what I mean. They both going on.
I'm going to go Jim Carrey because I always like the impression. Jim Carrey could do just about anybody, man. I was watching that while I was doing it. Like when he did the Juice Man, the dude had the infomercials, the Juice Man,
Yeah, yeah.
that old dude,
When he
Fire
did
Marshal Bill.
yeah, he did Vanilla Ice. He did the other
Yeah,
rapper that sang that white
yeah.
rapper who sang reggae. He did him and he
Ace,
did that
yeah.
song
Ace
Impossible.
Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, um, Fun with Dick and Jane.
Fun with Dick and
Man,
Jane was
dude,
real good.
had
Truman
the was it Had
Show,
Truman, the Truman Show.
yeah,
Man, dude got a lot of movies, man.
Sunshine
And
of the
can
Spotless
you
Mind.
imagine? Can, can you imagine they would have made a movie together if he would have like lived longer? Robin Williams, they would have just made a movie together, kind of like with him and Dennis. The
Man,
most funniest part though on Dumb and Dumber is when the couple walked by and he said, "Boy, look at the backside on there." And he said, "He must work out." Jim Carrey said, "He must work out." That was crazy. You didn't see that coming, man. It was like, where in the world that come from, man? It was funny, man. Yeah, I'm going with Jim Carrey though, man. I like Robert Williams too. They both was funny, but yeah, Jim Carrey on The Living Color, man. They just let dude do anything, man. He was doing all kind of crazy stuff. But let us know who you think in the comments. Will you pick Jim Carrey or Robin Williams?
Blade, ready to die.
All right, next slide. This is the thinking question. Is work-life balance a realistic concept or is it just something they're making up on social media?
it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds real good.
It sounds real good,
Start
but
trying to do it. Yeah.
you always see these ultra successful people, they don't have that balance. And we want, like, normal people strive to get that.
Mm,
Um, so how you get that level of success? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they say they're obsessed with
yeah.
being the best. You know what I mean? So there's only one Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? There's only
Yeah.
one the Tesla dude. I can't think of his name.
Elon Musk. Yeah,
Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk.
I almost said Eli. It's only one of those guys, and they are weird. You know what I mean? They are
Yeah, they are.
strange. They don't have a work-life balance. You know what I mean? And that's why they're at the top. So thinking we can have it all, is it a pipe dream? But I think it's definitely not. What's life if you can't enjoy it? Some people say never be comfortable. What am I working for? I'm working for my children to be kind of as stress free as they can, to have the things that
Mhm.
they need, and not to be struggling. I'm working for a vacation. I'm not working just to be working to say I work the hardest. So you
Right.
got to have that goal
Mm.
that you want to reach. I
Right.
want success at this level. Then I want to enjoy it somewhat. You know what I mean? I don't want to be working 16, 18 hours a day in my 60s and 70s because I'm trying to be the best. I got to make this more money. You know, you see a lot of people with this, they say a passive income, you know what I mean? But that ain't
Mhm.
enough for them. I'm
Right.
getting, I make $5,000 a day just sitting down, making my money work for me. But guess what they're gonna do? They used to working. They're gonna still try to work and make some more money. But you have to have that work-life balance. With your kids, you're working for something, and you're working for yourself. And try to be happy. I think a lot of people, mental health is a big issue when you feel like you have to work and you don't really have a life outside of work. You are a man in this society, in this climate, social climate. You have to work. You don't want your wife to work. She got to stay at home and clean up everything and take care of the kids. But you got to work, and you're working 16, 18 hours a day to provide for her and the kids, where she doesn't have to work. And that's a lot of weight
Mhm.
and responsibility to have on your back. So you
Yeah.
definitely to live, to not
Yeah.
stroke out. You definitely
For
have to
sure.
have that work life balance, and it is possible.
Yeah. What I would say is possible. In order to achieve it, you have to early. The earlier you can take advantage of time and opportunities in order to increase your value, the quicker you could get to something like this. If you do like I did and kick it in your 20s and wait to go to school into your late 20s, it's going to take you a little longer to get to it. Another thing is you got to have the awareness to know where you can increase your value at, like what you're good at. You got to have that kind of awareness, like individual awareness of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like and then you have to understand too, in order to make that kind of money, or if you're trying to get to that kind of money, what it really takes. Some people just see it on social media, but they don't know what it takes. You got to have a team. Like you got to trust other people. You can't do all that by yourself. Jeff Bezos definitely couldn't get to that by. Elon Musk couldn't either. You have to trust people. And guess what? Sometimes you to be an owner, you may have to fire people too. Just kind of the business of Another thing too is as a community, sometimes you're not taught to take risk depending on where you grow up at. You're taught to be safe. You're not taught to take risk or, try to start a business or something like that. You're just kind of just cultured to be safe. And in the beginning of your adult years, you kind of got to be comfortable with being unbalanced while you're going to school and working. This is what I would say. Tell my kids going to school and working, like get a feel, like understand how this thing work, and then when you go to school for something that makes sense. Now you starting to get the salary to where you don't have to work two jobs. You only got to work 16 hours. You get a job where you're working 9 to 5, but you're only really working probably 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like where I work at the school, right? Going to school at Euler, right? There are professors making think what probably like 80, above 50, but probably in the 80s or 90s, and they don't work every day. You know what I'm saying? Like they classes are only certain parts of the day, certain times of the day, and maybe they'll tell you their office hours are from this. That's if anybody even do it, because when everybody going to school, the last thing you trying to do is go to the office and talk to the professor unless you just need to. So if you're not a core class person where you teaching English, you're teaching a major kind of class like a specialty class, you may only be there 2 or 3 times a week. Tuesday, Thursday, office open on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You can balance that. But if you want to work at Walmart for 30 years, it probably ain't gonna be balanced as you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Because Well, when you work at retail jobs, you don't get paid time off at Walmart, do you? I don't think so. Unless you're full time, you're like in the
Yeah,
management
oh
chain.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
But if you're a regular job, yeah, you don't get paid time off and stuff like that. No, you know what I'm saying? You're lucky if you can get insurance. But when you get into a career job, now you can start balancing. Now you can start like, okay, I can go on vacations at these times. If you work at a school and be a professor or a teacher, you know, they get paid even during the summer on because they got a contract. So when school's out, you got that summertime unless you're doing something, but you got winter and summer. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how what are you looking to do. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do something. If you're not doing nothing, you probably not gonna have balance. It's not gonna be realistic for you. But you got to be doing something. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
So
So
you do what you got to do, so you can do what you want to do. You know what I mean? So if
exactly.
you don't do what you got to do, the time where you're supposed to be doing what you want to do, you're
Yeah,
trying to play makeup doing what you got to do, and you're
exactly.
living the
That's what I'm
life
doing right
where
now.
every day you just do what you got to do, and it's taking up all your time, and you have no time or resources to do what you want to do. People say follow your dreams. It's hard. It's easier to chase your dreams on a full stomach. So, like,
Yeah,
man, maybe you can get a degree that makes sense, and then you can follow your passion when you have time to.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Time and resources to do those things.
And then, well, like what you just said, right? You got to follow your dream, but you got to have a full stomach. Sometimes you got to be a creative thinker, right? What can you eat that makes you full that don't cost that much money? You got to be able to creatively think like that. When you go into the grocery store, you might not be able to buy steak. You might have to be creative with ramen noodles. Maybe you need to get the Tyson chicken and ramen noodles and cut the chicken up, and put in the ramen noodles. I don't know. You got to be creative like that. You may have to be creative and innovative for 5 years in order for the next 15 years, to have work life balance. That's all. You got to think like that. Maybe cooking instead of going out to eat, you have to actually cook. You know what I'm saying? Like young kids, that's what you got to think about. Like, how can you hack those expenses in life where it don't cost you as much than it normally would if you was just paying out, going out to eat all the time, and doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
and
you
that's the
definitely got to be
thing.
able to think.
That's the thing too. So, well, I want to make enough money where I can go out to eat all the time, and you probably will if you work hard, where you can do that. You know what I mean? But you got to make it make sense. If you're a bad budgeter, you
Yeah,
can't out earn a bad budget. You know what I
boy,
mean? You
for
just can't,
real.
because it's those people. Some people just are ambitious. They want to make more
Mm,
money. They want to be in a higher. They have this perception that growth
yeah.
never stops. I want to be
Mm,
80 and 90 years old, still learning, still growing, still
mm-hmm.
um, maximizing my earning potential. You know what I mean? And some people is just in them like that. But some
Mm-hmm.
people, they're never above water. Their head is always,
Mm,
the water is just always, they're always struggling for. Hey, they were struggling when they made 30,000. They're struggling when they made 50. They're struggling when they
mm-hmm.
made 80. They're living check to check. No matter how big the check is, they spend up their limit. And it's some
Mm,
people like that, and you got to try not to be like that, or you'll never
yeah.
have that work-life balance.
Oh yeah.
People think, well, I'm gonna make it to this point and I'm gonna chill. But guess what? If you
Yeah.
still have those bad habits,
Boy,
you can't chill,
that's true.
because
Yeah.
the bills are still due, and the bills,
Right.
every time your check gets bigger, the bills get bigger, and you will never make that point where I can chill. You'll never have that. Well, I can just relax a little bit. You'll be
Right.
like Jeremy Ford was saying. You'll be a slave to your job. It don't matter
Yep.
how you feel. You got to go into there. You got to
Oh
go
yeah.
into that place. Um,
Yeah. You got to be
you
smart,
know,
man.
And a
You
matter
got
of
to be
fact,
smart out there.
sometimes it's ambition. But Osiris, I was looking at a post he made about gluttony and the 1%, but they have to keep earning, keep earning, keep earning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
own an oil rig, you know what I mean, or in the Middle East you own oil, but the gas prices stay high and they keep raising them because they have to have more profits and more profits. Profits in 500%.
How many people do you think, like, with the people that say that, they say the 1% is gluttony? How many people do you think that say that if they was on the other side of that fence and they was the 1%, would they still be saying that?
Exactly. They wouldn't because but that's what's feeding
Yeah.
the machine.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to be in the
Yeah.
1%, and when it's my turn, I'm going to keep making money too, and that's your dream. I'm
Yeah.
going to be in that position, and
Yeah.
I don't want to share my money with anybody once I get in that position, and that's the
Man.
American dream that we saw.
American
And
dream.
then if I ever tell you that you're not going to be in position, that position, I'm a dream stealer. I'm a dream killer because
Boy,
it's going to
for
be
real.
me. It's going to be me. I was homeless too, just like Tyler Perry. I'm going to be the next Tyler Perry, and when I'm Tyler Perry, when I'm Oprah, I'm going to do the same thing. Those people shouldn't share their money because you're seeing yourself you look at Oprah and you see yourself. And I would want to share my money if I had billions, and I will keep making it. And that's why the
It's just the
machine
thing though,
is
like
born.
I think they think when you share money, like if I give you $10,000 and you're not wise, or you'll start depending on me to keep giving you $10,000. I think they look at it like that. You look at me as
Okay.
an ATM.
Okay. But is it wise to have billions of dollars and just have it and just make
A lot of
more
people don't have.
billions?
I don't think a lot of them have $1 billion in cash. I think it's
I mean,
more assets than it is
just
money.
or assets or whatever it is, a
It is
treasure.
wise to have it in assets because you can always use it for collateral, a
No,
loan
I mean,
against it, I
but
guess.
like use it for what? What? And I
So
talked to you
are you
about this
saying people should
question.
spend their money a certain way? So you saying
No, no,
people
no,
should
no,
spend their
no, no,
money?
no.
Oh,
Is the deeper question of why I'm not
yeah,
criticizing the way people make money or spend money or
yeah,
disparaging, but you know what I mean. He was talking about gluttony was one of
yeah.
the seven deadly sins and things like
But
that.
you got to define what is gluttony though. Like you have to. Some people move the
You-
goalposts. Like it's
No, I mean,
this,
well,
and then it's
just
this,
not.
and
It's
then
just
it's
not
this.
food. It's overindulgence
Right,
or of
right.
anything.
But what if you're good at
Extra.
generating money though? Is you gluttony if you're good at generating money though and making deals? Is that gluttonous though? If you're
Okay.
good at that,
Or what you no, okay, you're making money. Thinking about is it consuming anything? Consuming money. You are a factory, a machine that's consuming money. You're
right?
saying they're making money and we can make it. No, you're just consuming it. Like this is the money for the whole country, and 1%, 1 out of the 10 people is eating all of the resources because they're good at it. They make it and they consume all of that money.
So
You know what I mean?
what if he went to school or he figured that he worked his way up to there? He
Hey,
started from
hey,
the bottom and got there.
guess
Is it
what? Guess
still
what?
gluttonous?
We didn't say they didn't earn the money. We didn't say that. We didn't say
But what
they
makes
didn't
it
work
gluttonous
for it.
then? So you saying if he don't
The
spend it the way
over
you spend it, it's gluttonous?
no no the overconsumption of what you need by um well God, I mean can't even think of a number to multiply that by thousands or millions of like this is what you need to survive. And you've done that or not survive. No, this is what you need to thrive. And we are going, you're still got your mouth open, you're still receiving, you're still taking after a billion times what you actually need, want, and would take care of you. Um, there's no purpose but
But
to
it's a
make
business
money.
though. You're looking at a person, but it's a business though, right?
Yes, it technically is a business, but it's an entity or it's a person that's controlling
But
it
what's the point of a
that has
business though?
access.
Profit. The
Yeah, I
point
mean,
of business
exactly.
is
No,
profit
no.
and generate
And
money,
guess
right?
what? And we're going to keep making it, and we're going to keep profiting and 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 keep profiting with no
So what do
end.
you think he's supposed to do? Like if you was
No,
like, what
no.
do you
Hey,
think a
look,
person supposed
look.
to do?
I didn't say
No,
I
no, I'm
had the
saying
answers. I don't have
I
the
know I'm
answers.
just saying No,
I
but if
don't have the
somebody
answer.
complain, it has to have a solution, right? That's
No,
all I'm saying. Like people
absolutely
be
not.
complaining.
Absolutely not. You know what I mean? If we have a solution, we can fix the problem. We have all the resources to feed everybody on earth. We have them. We have them.
But if you
We
work for
have them.
something, I'm telling
No,
you the mindset of how these dudes think. If I work for this, I
no,
put in the work, I'm
exactly,
burning the midnight oil.
exactly.
Why
Because
am I
you
good?
feel
Yeah.
like, because they feel like they work for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They feel like they went to school. They feel like they're giving the world a gift. Let's say, you need something to live. Um, I wrote this down earlier, but you need something to live.
Right.
But you got to give me all your land to get what I have for you to live. I got the medicine that it takes for you to live. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But you got to give me all your land to get it. So I give everybody the medicine, but I get all the land. And I give
Mm-hmm.
like one section of land to y'all other people. And I have all this
Okay.
land, and then nine of y'all, I'm one person, and nine of y'all
Mm-hmm.
got to split that 1% of land because
Right.
y'all got the medicine from me. I did make the medicine. Y'all needed to live, but y'all got to live over there.
But how
Terrible
do you feel the
management.
value of the medicine is though? So are you saying you
Yeah, the
devalue the
value,
medicine, the
yeah, the
value?
value. Guess what? You got it. They got it. They work for their money, but this is society's problem. God will fix it. God could fix it, but he gave us the tools to fix it. He gave us
Right.
all the money, all the resources, all the technology to feed everybody in the world.
He also gave us free will, right?
Yeah, and guess what? Guess what? That's why we don't. That's why we haven't solved the problem. That's why
Because
we haven't solved
does every
the
person
problem.
have a chance to improve? Does every person have a chance? Unless you're
Oh, so
severely like,
no, you're gonna say you're gonna do the bootstrap things because you're
no, no,
telling
no,
me
no, no, not the
everybody.
bootstrap thing. I'm not doing that. I'm
No,
just
you're telling me
asking like,
everybody has the
no, I
opportunity
said you
to
didn't let
be
me
Jeff
finish. I said
Bezos.
if everybody is physically capable, everybody is physically capable, do they have a chance to improve? Yes or no?
Yes.
But they'll be the same people that be complaining and saying that a person is holding them back. I've been in that category myself. That's the only reason why I'm saying I've been in that
No, no.
category
Okay.
myself.
Yes. Everybody can improve. You know what I mean? Guess what? Everybody can be Tyler Perry. Everybody has that in them. God gave you a unique gift, and everybody can be as successful as Jeff Bezos and Tyler Perry. They just have to find their niche.
It's kind of
Is
like a
that's
team.
American dream?
It's kind
You're
of like a
right.
football team. Everybody can't be a safety. Everybody can't be the corner. You got somebody got to be the linebacker. Somebody got to be the DN.
But you say everybody can get better. Like, what's
They
like,
can.
so
You don't have to be Tyler Perry. We got to
who
be a
no
better. I could be a
who's
better
telling
Mike.
who's telling you like where you need to stop? Who decides that? You know what I mean? But the bigger issue, like I'm not telling how I don't know. I don't have the answers. But I know we have the resources, and then everybody's so scared to give somebody else something for free because I work for it. No free rides in life,
No, I
no
think it's
charity.
the.
If I
I
give a
from
man,
what.
if I feed a
Go ahead.
man, give a man a fish, he gonna be coming to my door every day, and I understand that as well. But there is a solution. You know what I mean? We can so
But
called
how
go
many
to
people
bars
would do the
and
solution though? How many people? It's like okay. How many people will say if I give you $100,000 and all you got to do is go to school, I give you 100,000 cash? How many people will say I like that solution? I'm gonna do that. Or how many people will just take the 100,000 and say, "Oh man, I didn't feel like going to school, but I really wanted the money though."
I
That's
think
what you're gonna
more.
run into.
No, I think. Guess what? I can discount that with this stick. Like, okay, nobody likes going to school, but the nobody likes going to school, but even just in America, but the
Right,
vast majority of people get through high school some kind of way.
right.
Some kind of way they get through it. Now, a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? We got dropouts, teen pregnancy, drugs, jail, but
GED.
a
Some people just go
lot
get
of
their
people,
GED.
yeah, a lot of people get through school. You know what I mean? They do that. Now, we're going into the conversation where we have the answers to
No.
healthcare and we can solve them. No, I just know that we have the resources to solve them. Um, there shouldn't be anybody hungry. Basically really shouldn't be anybody sick. We have the money, we have the technology, we have all that. Um, but I guess people scared to give somebody. I'm not advocating for free rides or anything like that. So I don't know the
Sound like you
answer.
are.
No, I don't
Sound
know
like
the
you are.
answer. We have that. But people need
Look, the
hire
answer is that
somebody.
sometimes the answer is right in our face. Some people don't want to put in the work. There's some people that don't. There are some people who get comfortable. There's some people who not comfortable. It's just all about say free will is all the way across like a prism of free will, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people like I don't want to do that. Some people like I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's all
So the
about
people who
perspective.
don't. So who decides who deserves? Who works hard? Who doesn't? Doesn't work
I think
hard.
it is individual. I think it's individual accountability. You have to be accountable for yourself.
See, but that's the thing that don't work. So we live in a society where we need people for everything. Somebody built your car. Somebody made your shirt. Somebody
Right.
prepared the food that you eat.
Right.
But we tell people every day, you're an individual. You can make your own way. You did no, you're not. You're so every person here is so dependent on
What I'm
the
saying
person
is, as an
next to them.
individual, you can look at yourself and say, Mike, at 22, I just have a regular job. What can I do to improve my value than where it is right now at 22? Can an individual do that?
Yes.
It's like evaluating yourself. That's called like making an evaluation, I guess, making an evaluation. A lot of people are not doing it. From what I'm seeing, just walking around and going to and fro, I see people that don't want to do that. They just don't even
But
want to think about that.
you're acting like it's an epidemic of that. Society is kind of working.
No,
I mean,
it's all kind of it's a prism. That's why I say it's a spectrum almost of people. It's just
but the majority of people make a functioning society. Um,
right.
I saw it's a building downtown like hundreds of floors, and I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's hundreds of
Yeah.
floors tall. A lot of people with a lot without a lot of technology we have today built that building because they work together. Um,
Right.
it's society
But they
works
chose
together.
to get up out the bed and go to the site and work and build a building, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but they didn't. Nobody did it on their own.
Right. You can't do it on your own, but you still you have to get up like the body, like the fingers. It
But you're
all where they
saying
all
a
depend on
lot of
each other.
people
But
aren't making the choice to work hard to better themselves. We have a whole society of people that's doing tremendously well,
I'm telling you
um,
how they
and
think.
then
I'm
we
not
got
saying I'm
some
telling you how people
people
think.
that are like a drug addicts or stuff like that. We have those people, and as a whole, we have the ability to take care of those people. We got prison guards that get paid to take care of the prisoners. We got nurses that get paid to take care of the patients in the hospital. So we have enough to cover our shortcomings, whatever those things come up. But
Pick one: chili dog or sashimi sushi.
you know what? Sushi looks. No, I'm going with chili dogs, of course.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm going sushi. I like sashimi, man. If I had the money, I would probably eat that every day, man. Be like Bruce Lee out there, man. But yeah, chili
Well,
dogs ain't good for you, man.
I don't think
Scary,
anything.
man.
It's a choice.
It do
Life
look
choice.
good though. Chili dogs do be looking good sometimes. You see the right chili dog, it do look good sometimes when they got the onions and the cheese and the stuff on there. But that
But
don't look good
have
though.
you ever since you like it? I mean, have you ever tried to prepare it yourself?
What's that?
Sushi.
I don't know. I don't think I have now. I have cooked salmon before though, but I never prepared it myself though.
I don't like fish. I don't like fish oil. Like the fish. I mean, I just don't like the
Oh,
taste texture, the smell of
Yeah.
fish, cooked, uncooked, anything that lives in the ocean, it just doesn't taste right to me for my soul.
I feel
Um,
the same way about chili dogs. I don't know why.
but I can cook, like, I can sear salmon. I mean, I can cook pretty good, and I know
Yeah.
what the texture's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Um, but even the smell of good or fresh fish, I just don't like it. I can smell it.
Salmon
Um,
actually fresh don't have a crazy smell though. I think it's the fish that you get out the coverts in the ditch. Them ditch fishes though, like
yeah, and like see,
brim, that smell,
like
brim, catfish, stuff like that. But when you go to sashimi though, it can actually be sitting right in front of you. They really don't have a crazy smell
yeah,
like that.
and
I'm
and
surprised.
colder fish usually don't. Cold things usually don't.
Yeah,
The smell don't travel. But if it got fish oil in it, you can touch
yeah,
it. The texture, even like fresh baked bread, smells good to people. Like, fish probably
right.
smell good to you like that.
Yeah,
In any form, it doesn't smell good
and
to
I
me.
think it's easy for your body to break down too. Like I don't know, if you did a case study of a person ate chili dogs more and a person ate sashimi
I mean,
more,
yeah,
it
well, yeah,
definitely
of course. I
fits.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah. We're
yeah,
gonna do one incredibly lean piece of meat that come from one animal.
yeah.
It's probably 50 animals in one hot dog. Like, you know what I
Boy,
mean? So
include the chili.
I mean, it's like a 50 more in the
Oh
chili.
man,
You know what I mean? You
man.
gotta, yeah, most definitely. Eating
Who
one
got the
animal
best chili
in one
dog?
piece.
Where'd you get the best? Where'd you get the best chili dog at so far in life? Is the one you made is probably the best one?
Probably the one I made.
Oh, okay.
I don't really be going in like, hey, let me get the
No, I
chili
said you
dog,
never
bro.
went to a restaurant. Like, man, that's
No,
actually pretty good. I
no,
know
I
Sonic. Sonic, you never got the chili cheese coney from Sonic, man.
matter of fact, it's buy one get one free foot long conies today at Sonic. Stop
Man, I
over
heard
in.
some dudes told me at work. I mean, at school that it's not the $5 foot long no more. I think that went up to like $10 or something like that. Cause inflation. So they don't do $5 foot longs no more. That's pretty crazy, man. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, guys, so advice from 40 years of living. I'm 41. I think Jay, you 41, right?
Yeah, I
41?
think so. I stopped
41
counting.
somewhere in there. We're in our 40s though. 40 years of living. Based on your experience, what would you say a person needs to work on individually before thinking about marriage? Like, if you was telling me, Mike, you need to work on this before you think about getting married, what do you think individually a person needs to
Uh,
work
you
on?
know, um, First of all, and I'm only saying this in this order with this logic. Um, Take care of your health first.
Yes,
Yours.
100%.
I don't care.
Yes,
Like, when
yes,
I used to do a thing when I was younger. I sprinted every day just because I could, just full speed every day.
yeah.
But when you get older, you probably can't do that. A lot of us,
That's a good
you
point.
40, you ain't sprinted in like a
Cause you
decade.
work all the time. When you have
But
kids and work, man,
like,
it's hard. Yeah.
look,
I'm
when
not
I was
saying you
younger and
can't
I
do
working
it.
in St.
Yeah.
Vincent, I would just like run in the parking lot just because I
Before
could.
kids, right? Yeah, before
Yeah,
kids,
before,
right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this: walk. You know
Yeah.
what? Take the stairs a little bit. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
do 10, probably do 20, but do 10 push-ups every day. You know what I mean? Get some dumbbells at the house.
Yeah.
Do a
The
couple
kettlebells, yeah.
sit-ups. Stretch. I mean,
Boy, stretching is
I didn't
important,
say
yeah.
get it. You should get a gym membership, but I'm not saying get a gym membership. Just do the little thing. Take your vitamins.
It's hard to do gym membership with kids because you don't have nowhere for the kids to go. That's the tough part when you got a
Exactly.
family.
You know what I mean?
That's
Life is
what's
about
hard, man.
choices. You got to
Yeah.
try something. A lot of gyms have daycares, but I'm not here, saying that. Just take care of your
Yeah.
health. I do a
Yeah, for
daily
sure.
little fitness regimen. Whether you run in place for 30 seconds. Everybody got 30
Yeah.
seconds. Do 30 jumping jacks a day.
Yeah.
40 years old, like, I mean, I'm telling you, do that, and definitely
Yeah, you
stretch.
don't get to 600 pounds, just wake up and you 600 pounds. That's a process, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
Whether
if
they,
you
they
can
try to
touch
make you
your
feel,
toes, if you can touch your toes today, touch your toes every day. Just bend
yeah.
straight over, touch your toes. Make sure Diddy ain't nowhere around. But touch your toes every day. But and somebody told me
That's a good one.
those baby oil bottles were full with liquid ecstasy. But that's just the urban legend.
Hey,
But
hey. Like I told Peel, when does a person's choice start? When you walk in the house and you see that, do the
but
choice start then to stay? Or can you
but
just say,
I'm
you know
not
what,
gonna
I think I
talk
left
about this
something in
with
the
you
car?
because
Huh?
you think every victim had a choice in a hand in their
No,
assault.
what I'm saying
That's
is,
just
when do you
definitely not
become a
true.
victim, though? When do you become a victim? Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm saying. That's why you
I'm
laugh,
just not
because
talking. I'm just
you
not
have to go in the
I'm just
house.
not
You
having
got
a
to go in the
conversation.
house, and then you sit down on the couch. And if you come in there a baby oil, do you have to leave or you got to stay?
Guess what? Manipulation. You can if you
Yeah,
manipulate it into
sure,
a situation or
sure.
pressured by money, power, prestige,
Mm-hmm.
um, you're still a victim. They say that person could have left multiple times, but then they wanted the fame. That when you
So are they a victim at that point if they know?
have you ever ran away from a billionaire?
I don't know if I even met a billionaire, to be honest with you. I don't know.
But you know their
But what
reach
I'm saying
and their
is,
influence is
the
far.
the the
It's,
first the
I'm saying
first
it's
few
not that
people.
easy.
No, what I'm saying is the people that didn't know, with the first few people he started that on, like say the first 20 people, okay. But the next 70 people, if
No,
you hearing
it don't
about
work
this,
like that.
because stuff is out in the streets. You
I
hear
mean,
this stuff,
but
you know,
it just
dudes.
don't work like that.
Oh,
Well, like,
so
what about the
when
people? What about the people?
so what?
Hey, you consent. Hey, I want to do this for X amount of money, and then you go to the hotel room, and then you get scared, and you change your mind. Is that person a victim?
I think what the law? What's the laws in that state?
I mean, it's just
Because that line get very fuzzy, man. That
no. I
victim
mean, it's
line get
not. I
very
mean, that
fuzzy.
person
But you
has the
made a
right to
deal. But you
leave.
made a deal, though, right?
If they
It's a contractual agreement.
it's just what so they just because they made a deal, they're held to that. They got to do things that they don't consent to anymore because
Why
they
did you
made a
sign the
deal.
contract?
Now, guess
That could be
what?
that could be fought in court. Why'd you sign the contract?
You know that's illegal too. But
What's that?
if
What's
they
that?
keep if they don't get the money and they decide to leave, and Diddy had a no cancellation clause in there, they're still a victim. You know what I mean in these situations. But I'm gonna answer your question about 40 years living. But exercise, take care of yourself, right? Just to
Back
do little
to
things.
life, back to reality.
Take
But
vitamins
yeah,
and stuff
health.
like that. Your physical health.
Another things,
And
yeah.
then the
Listen to your
second one is
body.
like your spiritual health. Get in line with God. Um,
That's a good point too. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because you're like, well, I'm not religious, but you're getting married. You're probably getting married in the church. You're probably gonna say some vows. Even at the
Mm-hmm.
courthouse, they're gonna speak spiritually on your union. So
Mm-hmm.
this is my opinion. Optional.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's optional, it's optional.
Mm.
Spiritually, get yourself together. Look what your not finances look like by your story. Look like what your finances look like by yourself.
Mm.
Um, Figure out what you want to do, what your goals are as a person. You know what I mean? Spiritually, mentally. If you got some things, anger management problems, alcohol problems, try to get that sorted out.
Boy, for
If you
real.
can, that's mental.
You got to
Um,
admit though. That's the thing, right? You got to
I
admit
mean, yeah,
that you have
yeah,
a
yeah.
problem.
You're
Yeah.
not ready. If we're in the graduating stages, if you're not ready to even admit you have a problem, you definitely don't need to be in this conversation talking about bringing somebody else in your life.
Boy.
Being a independent, self-sufficient, especially as a man, self-sufficient person already going into that, knowing what you want to be clearly, where you're going, having a vision for yourself and then adding that person to that, making sure
Mm.
they add to and don't disrupt what you're trying to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I know a man's supposed to be a provider, and I think the woman before y'all get together, she should be independent on herself, not living off other people, and then
Mm.
she's just gonna live off you, or whatever. Get another independent individual, and then y'all can kind of come together, and she can be under your covering. And if women be saying it's like hard to find a man as a provider, If he don't have a house and he's trying to move in with you, what you think this gonna be? I mean, it's right there in front of you, like what it's gonna be. He's gonna move in with you, you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe give you $200 on the light bill, and you like him because he's fun. And marry the fun guy, that's fine, but don't expect him to be a provider. You know what I mean? If he has a now, if you meet him, y'all start dating, he has a place for himself, and then he makes a space for you in that place, that's easy. You know what I mean? That man ain't gonna let me down because he ain't gonna let himself down. For me to be homeless with this man, he have to be homeless, and he's never been homeless. The 10 years or the 20 years before he met me, he been taking care of himself. You don't have to see his credit score to know he's reliable. Well, how long you been living here? You've been living here for 5 years, and the rent is $2,000 a month, and you've been doing this, and your card is this. You didn't even have to ask him what his credit score was. You don't have to. You don't have to ask him if he's going to work. If the evidence is all around him. But if he bumming rides from you, you gotta your first date, you pick him up, and then the second week you're giving him rides to work and things like that. At least he got a job. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking fellas without a job because we all one layoff away.
Boy, for real.
From that. But just those little things before you kind of go into marriage. Find yourself, take care of yourself physically first, then spiritually, because how can you take care of yourself spiritually if you're not here? You know what I mean? So you gotta be living to have a spiritual relationship, and know what you want out of life, and don't expect that person to fulfill you. Like I'm miserable. I need a wife. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's gonna give me purpose and this and that. I think
Keon Henderson told Cam Newton that like another person won't make you happy. Happiness is individual. It's an individual inside of you. You have to manage your own happiness. He was pretty much saying that because if you marry a woman thinking she gonna make you happy, it's not gonna work like that. You know what I'm saying? Well,
she can do certain things to enhance my happiness. I like looking at her every morning. I smile when she talks and things like that, and I get the butterflies in my stomach. And she cooks really good, and she looks really good, and those things enhance your happiness, enhance your life. But if you're miserable, and you know what I mean, you think this person's gonna just make you happy. That's an impossible task. If you're a man trying to make a woman happy that's not happy, that's mission impossible, because she's gonna be unhappy about another thing tomorrow. I'm gonna give her all this money, and she will be happy then. I'm gonna do thoughtful things. I'm gonna take her on vacation. Well, while she's on vacation, she's gonna be happy, or she's not gonna show signs or symptoms of unhappiness. But then she go back to regular life. I hate my job. I hate my house. I hate my car. I hate my mom. I hate my kids. I hate my feet. When you hate your own body, how is she gonna love you? I hate my feet. I hate my nose. You think I'm fat? You know what I mean? I'm ugly. My lips dry. How can you make that person happy? And guess what? That person's gonna leave you in 3 years. I'm just not happy. You weren't happy when I met you, and that's my fault.
Right, boy. Yep. And I would say communication. Learn how to communicate with the opposite sex. Like, honestly, I think I struggled with that when I first got married. The communication piece, just being able to tell your wife what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? If you're the leader of the house,
and what you want,
telling your wife how you solve problems, how you think, and sometimes you can't say it in 5 minutes. It's over time. When something come up, I'm gonna do this, and do this based on what I know. You know what I'm saying? Communication is key, man. As an individual, man, you have to learn how to manage your stress or manage your individual anger, manage your frustration. You gotta learn how to manage those things before you get married. You gotta learn how to forgive, because if you can't forgive, marriage is gonna challenge you all the way around the board. Learn how not to hold on to stuff. That's why I would tell kids. A lot of people, man, you see on social media, they be holding on to stuff, be holding grudges. Like, man, that stuff happened 10 years ago, man. Come on now, man.
I can't remember a conflict that I had in high school.
No,
I can't remember a conflict that I had in my 20s That
Yeah,
stuff
man.
is
Some people still
gone.
do. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was I was having a conversation just about a couple, matter of fact, 2 hours ago, and we was talking about like people holding on to stuff. Like I think it was like with Cardi B trying to get even tit for tat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
It never goes well.
and I was like, I never like I've been hurt and I've been in
Sure.
fights, physical, emotional, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But guess what? I don't remember. I can't even think of that thing that had me heartbroken and depressed when I was 28.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't even I can't even recall it. You know what I mean? A lot of unless I'm just really good at suppressing things.
Right.
But we'll talk about the tip for tat
I think it's
after.
a difference between suppressing and just letting stuff go because it ain't worth holding on to. I don't know. I think it's a difference, but some
Yeah.
people don't. But it just
But you were
depends on your
saying about
perspective.
communication. I haven't ever really touched on this. Expectations,
Yes.
unmet
Yes.
expectations that you didn't even express. Your wife
Yeah.
is not doing the thing you want, but you didn't tell her to do it. You didn't tell her how important it was to you that you received this. So I think you need to everybody, even if you're married now, practice in the mirror.
Yeah.
Whatever your dreams, goals, fantasies, or
Yeah.
responsibilities, say them out loud. Say them to God. Say them to yourself in the mirror. I want this from you, my wife, or my husband. I really would like you to do this, or and at least they will know. You got to learn how to communicate your inner thoughts and your inner feelings because they're in you. They can't see
And see,
them.
the thing that's tough about life is
And
how
then when they
many,
don't do them, that's them.
yeah, how many people have you met, or how many women did you meet? You could be like really straight up with them and tell them right out what you want. A lot of times it just don't happen like that. You got to figure out. It's almost like playing with a Rubik's cube. You know what I'm saying?
So
Every time
there,
you move one and then another color, you just never could get all the colors in
so
one
that's
place.
that's an excellent point and a counter to that. So that's
Yeah.
what you need to learn uh,
Yes.
to
Yes.
express yourself in a way they can hear you.
Without
And
getting
you
offended.
do
You
that
know what I'm saying?
without
Yeah.
them. Like Mike has been my best friend for a long time. Maybe he's a little bit too blunt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Learning how to soften that up without losing your point. Sometimes we have so much appetizers and we give them so much stuff warming them up to say what we're going to say. They don't even have room for the main course of truth that we're trying to tell them because you're buttering up with these little appetizer subjects.
But when you
Communicate.
direct, you don't give them the appetizer. When you direct, you just give them the
Yeah, yeah,
steak.
yeah. You just forcing a
Yeah.
steak down their throat. Like you only have
Yeah.
this and that, and they sometimes take that wrong, and then that
Yeah.
hurts our.
That's true.
Even as a man that doesn't have feelings, that hurts your feelings, because she didn't even listen to what you said. She was worried about how you said it, but
I
this is
think
something that
too,
was really important to you.
when I think about when I was younger, I think there were a lot of them that listened. They just didn't want to admit it or they didn't want to say it because if I say something and then you admit it, now you have to be accountable from that point on. Some people
Yeah,
don't want to admit because then they have to be accountable at that point. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like if I tell you know what I'm saying, that happens a lot. You got to be able to realize that as a man. Like this person know what I'm saying. They know what I'm asking them, and I'm not saying it to be offensive, but they know if they say yes, I understand what you're saying. Now, moving forward, how are we gonna solve this now? Now that we on the same page, the accountability. Or
yeah,
are you gonna be one of them people that move the goalposts? Some people they
and
move
guess
the
what?
goalposts all the time. Right.
And sometimes that's just not one conversation.
No, it's
You
not.
have the trial period. Hey,
Yeah.
we're enacting. We're going to be using this new policy from now on
Yeah.
out.
Right.
Now she knows and she's accountable for this in the future. The first
Right.
weeks you're gonna have bumps. Like she's
Right.
gonna kind of go outside of those lines. Not your wife or
Right.
whatever. The person you're
Right.
talking
I
to.
know you're saying, yeah, for sure.
They're going to go outside of the line, and then we're going to say, "Oh no, that's not what I mean." You get them
Yeah.
straight. It's just like learning any new skill at a job. You're gonna kind of mess up the first couple times. You got to give people grace because this is something you knew you put on them. But then
Right.
after a month, you know what I mean, they're going to get it right. And then after that month or 6, 8 months, and they're still doing stuff, they just don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Once
Right.
they learn,
Exactly.
and that's what you got to be accountable of too. But the hardest part for men is to express that need to a
Yeah.
woman, and it's women too. Your husband maybe would help you with the dishes or these things because we're getting a lot of talk about. A lot of people are getting divorced over
Yeah.
household chores,
Boy,
because
that's
I don't want
crazy.
to clean
Yeah.
up. You don't want to clean up. Nobody wants to clean up. And then you want a provider. He provides 100% of the income,
Boy.
but you still want him to do 50% or 75% of the housework. He's doing 100%
Man.
of the income. I'm not
Boy.
going to say
Yep.
what's fair and what's not because you run your own house. But I
Right.
think
That's true.
just everybody
That's a
should
good
clean
point.
up after themselves. But let your expectations be known. Hey, that's
Right.
making me feel not valued when you don't pick up after yourself or this or that. That's with chores, that's sexual, that's spiritual needs. I really want
Yeah.
you to pray with me like this. I really, you got to be able to say what you want
And
and
then
not
I'll
be
say this
mad you're
for
not getting something that you didn't express.
yeah. And I'll say this before we go to the next slide. I will tell anybody, man or woman, when you marry somebody, you have to think about this person. You got to know what your flaws are. This person gonna see your good and your bad. If you constantly complain about another person, think about what that person could complain about you that they probably don't say. You got to think about that. If you want to make a complaint, that other person could make a complaint just as easy. So that's why it pays not to just sit there and be complaining. Because if you're gonna complain, what's the solution? You know what I'm saying? What's some people just like complaining, but they never have a solution. They just like complaining. You know what I'm saying?
I
And I
ran
tell a
into
dude,
I ran into a person. They had something to say about every solution I had and didn't have one.
really?
I
Wow.
don't like what's going on. I said, well, what about we do this? We assign this and that. I don't like assignments. Well, what do you suggest? Well, I don't know. Well, just every man for themselves, but I want help. If it's every man for themselves,
Yeah,
why
exactly.
you need
You
help?
just
So do I get help from
exactly.
him? No, well, you can didn't
Boy.
have thing. And then it's like, okay, and I hear a lot of men do this. Well, you don't clean up after yourself. Then you look at the dresser, it's makeup, it's hair
Man.
everywhere. I don't wear synthetic hair. You know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, this is my space. I use this every day. You know what I mean? Well,
Double standards all the time.
I
But
know.
yeah, guys. Hmm. So pick one for all my people from Southwest. Pick one. The Chinese restaurants in Southwest. You got the Asian Grill Buffet by Walmart. Then you got Cuisine of China on Guy Springs. If you had to pick one, which one?
I ain't been to the ones in Southwest in a minute, but I did really love the flavor of the what's that
Which one? The
cuisine of China?
Cuisine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my palate has changed now. I can't probably eat neither one of them now. But yeah, I used to go to me and rest in peace Leroy. We used to go to Cuisine of China all the
RP
time.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I remember.
I never went to the one by Walmart. I don't know. Some just tell me that don't go there. My
Me
instinct tell me don't go there.
now
So
I
I'm gonna
really
pick
invest
A.
with Panda Garden though. You know what I mean? Um,
Is it the Panda that make you comfortable going there? I don't know what it is about Panda Garden that make you want to go there. Well, yeah, Panda Garden be the truth. Talking about on Shackleford, the one on Shackleford.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, next slide. It says Antonio Pierce calls out players. He said, "Can you tell when players quit playing hard in the game, or does it show up in the game film?" Because he said players was quitting on the field; they weren't playing like they should have been playing. He said they made a business decision. He said after the game, going forward, we're gonna make business decisions too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't
Oh,
think they realize Antonio Pierce played football too
and yeah,
at a
that's the
high
thing.
level, so he
That's the
know
thing.
what he talking about.
When you can say that as a coach because you know what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Boy,
When players do that. These
yeah,
are peak athletes, the top of their
yes,
class. They're $1 million athletes.
Yes.
And you can tell when they not turning on because it don't look the same. You know what I
It
mean?
don't. Yeah.
You don't see
Like
John Wick tripping. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, he stumbled. You know what I mean? It's crisp.
those
It's like,
receivers for Bryce Young, they were showing some of the highlights. He'll throw the route and the receiver just be looking at the ball. He not even sticking his arm up. He just looking at the ball and go like this. Like it did. Like I think with the Raiders, some of them dudes, like the cornerback, not even really holding. He just out there moving around. But you can tell, look at the film, he ain't even out there holding the receiver. He just out there moving around like he out there playing football. You know what
yeah,
I'm
no
saying?
technique. Like, when you was little, you was in the choir, everybody else singing around, you moving your
Yeah,
mouth.
boy.
And that's the kind of football some of them be playing. And
Yeah,
we think if we had an opportunity to play a game for millions of dollars every Sunday, we would like cherish every opportunity. And these dudes trying not to play. Um, Even as kids, like you want to play, you want to start, you want to show people what you get. And when you lose that, and you have the
their
mentality,
will. Yeah,
the will to win, the will to even play
yeah,
a game that you
yeah,
love, you got to challenge. Even when you're on a bad team, you got to challenge yourself. What I
yeah.
mean,
That's
I'm
true.
playing against
That's
myself.
true.
I'm playing for stats.
Right, for
So,
sure. Yeah, man. Will is definitely a big thing, man. So pick one. Terry Bogard or Ryu. Ryu, however they pronounce it in Street Fighter.
man, I play with Ryu a
I
lot.
know.
I spam fireballs all the time. But I like Terry as a character. His move set is a little different. It's not
Yeah,
as traditional as
boy.
Hollow.
Show late.
I like the
Show late.
versatility of the
Yeah,
fireball. It definitely being low all the time.
yeah.
And he got his anti-air. I think,
They're almost like the same kind of character. They're just different moves though. They kind of got the same I guess like kind of trajectory. They both the good guys, I guess, in the game.
yeah.
And they both
And I
kind of
used
been
to
trained and stuff like that.
I used to prefer Ryu, and then I just went over to Ken for the playstyle and quickness. But
Yeah,
I'm
Queen
going
is super
Terry. I
quick.
mean, I like the art of fighting. It had more of a
Yeah,
story in Street Fighter. Period.
yeah.
Then they put all of them on one game. That SNK versus
Oh
Capcom.
man,
So
that game, man. I wish we could find that game. That game was awesome, man.
I definitely had it. You know what? I think I
When we
got it
get a
on
studio,
PlayStation. And
when we get a studio, man, we
my
gotta start
brother,
back playing the
my brother,
game.
Percy got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He had a
yeah.
birthday. Happy belated birthday, big
Happy
bro.
birthday, Percy. That's what's up. Yeah, when we get a studio, man, to make the content in, we got to set up a station to play the game on, man. I missed that. I missed them Street Fighter days, man. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Ryu, man. Even though I'm like you. I know. Wait, I'm trying to think. I'll pick you or Terry, cause Terry had the spinning knuckle, had the little fireball too. I think I like Joe more than I do Terry.
Most definitely like Joe.
So I'll probably go Ryu because I like the dragon punch and he's real basic. You gotta like
Yeah.
really like a basic fighting style with Ryu.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? With a couple of extra moves something like that. But he not like overkill like M Bison. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Ryu was just basic, man. Basic butt kicking pretty
One,
much. Like
two,
I'm
three.
watching my kids do taekwondo. I be thinking about Ryu, but I also think about their board. I think about giving my kids one of those, a Makirara board where you got to punch the
Yeah.
board
For
over
sure.
and over. I
Yep.
thought about giving my kids that. Cause my daughter, she like it, man. Her forearm, I be playing with her in the house just to see if she gonna block, trying to catch her off guard. Her forearm starting to harden up a little bit.
Yeah.
Feel like you hitting a little brick. So I'm like, man, my little daughter over there getting tough, man.
Boy.
I got it.
I feel sorry for them other little girls her age because with her length, she got that
Yeah.
reach.
Boy. So the critical thinking challenge, the power of choice. Does environment and exposure influence choice?
Yeah, yes, it definitely does.
Yeah, I
Because
agree
a
with you.
lot
I
of
think it do
people
too.
only you can only do what you know, and it's a lot of ignorance. So
Mm.
the way ignorance works is it doesn't exist because you don't know it. A lot of people think like that, like, well, it's nothing outside of my hood, so it doesn't exist because I don't know anything outside of that. So those are you think you have
So,
those choices in your thoughts or
so
your
is there
reality.
ever a point? Is there ever a point where a person can choose not to be ignorant?
Um, at this point they don't know what they're ignorant to. So like they think it's
I'm saying
only
with all the
three.
information out there, because it be people that like they could be ignorant, but they got a cell phone, they can look up stuff on Google. But do
So
they
I mean,
choose not to?
so
That's what I'm saying.
this is the thing. Like they think it's only the world. They think it's 3 blocks. You think it's only three
Yeah, I'm
pages in
with
the
you.
book. There's
Right.
no other pages in the book besides the 3. That's what you know. But they have to have that curiosity. I think it's more. I think this is something more. I think it's more pages. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's more pages, but I think it is. And that little curiosity
Yeah.
will cause you to look up the information. And then some
Mm.
people get addicted to that information, that knowledge. Like, it's a whole new world. It's in there. They kind of go there. But some people really don't think outside of it. It's only 3 pages.
Yeah.
My dad said it's only 3 pages. My mama said it's only 3 pages. It's only 3 pages. You know what I mean? That may be a lackluster analogy about that. But if your parents say it's only the hood, these are the only choices you have. Your dad, your mom, your grandpa, that's the only choices you have. That's what you will begin to believe.
So when you think about um the entertainers, like they be getting caught up in this crazy stuff like Cosby or like Diddy, do you think everybody has that kind of X factor in them, but they just haven't been in that kind of environment where it comes out? Like everybody has like a X factor.
An X factor is a predatory X factor. If they're on
Was it
top,
and
they'll.
whatever? It could be predatory. It could be scamming, like money scamming. Wire fraud. You think about the dude Sam Bankman-Fried. There had to be an X factor to defraud people of the cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Like, what
Well,
makes a
that's good
person like?
abilities and bad abilities, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Because living in the projects, if you've never been outside the projects, it will have an effect on some of your decision making, the choices. Because it's like street rules versus regular world rules is totally different. Some people don't realize that. And then, but you raise your kids in the projects thinking they're gonna be normal. They don't even make sense to raise your kids in the projects. They think that they're gonna be normal. They just that's
But
it's
if you
not really
think it's
that real.
normal, but if you think this
It's
dysfunctional
normal, yeah,
environment is normal,
man,
um,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. But let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think that environment and exposure influence a person's choice? Because, like I say, if a person grew up in a rich environment, their exposure is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna think that stuff should be handed to them. Probably they probably gonna look at people different. You know what I'm saying? So 100%. The last pick one: Uncle T's or K Hall.
uh, you know, I'm gonna go with K Hall. You know what I mean? They got the sauce. Um, yeah, I'm just going with K Hall.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Uncle T's because I can get the sounds like you got at home. You get that loaded up turkey sandwich on that white bread, on that Wonder Bread. And
be,
if you
be
body
that quick.
body, you go, yeah. And if you body body, you go get that hog head sauce, man. They still, I think they the only deli that still sell it, man. Uncle T's, man. But yeah, man, let us know in the comments, man, who you got, Uncle T's or K Hall. And K Hall too on Saturdays they got that what is it, the crawfish boil line? The line be so long, man, like they selling something else. It's like, man, what y'all really selling? Line be all the way down Right Avenue somewhere. It's like
You have to
crazy,
steal it
man.
out to the crib because crack tastes like
Yeah,
real.
man. But yeah, guys, sorry about that mishap in the earlier podcast. But please subscribe and follow on all outlets: Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, CTMTV LR, and CTMTV on YouTube. Think Game Podcast 127. Thanks for watching, and we are signing out.
Thank y'all.